Choose life, choose career, choose never to alter game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to be discussing what is the top 5 loadouts in Warzone now for 2.0, where we hit season 3. And what have they done? Well, they've adjusted some of the guns. The Basilisk's had a nerf, so the armor damage, so it's not a 2-shot kill anymore, which means you're going to be swapping that out for the .50 GS as your secondary pistol. The Lachman had a slight change up, but it's still top tier. The Vaznev is still top tier, the 2 top SMGs in my mind. The ISO had a little hit as well, so the headshot damage isn't as much, the same with the 56. But the 56 wasn't adjusted any other way, so that's pushing that up into the S ranking. But there's a few little changes. We're going to be discussing the top 5, not top 10, top 5, something easy to handle. Have a look at, you'll see us through the firing range and you'll see how easy it's to control all these guns with these attachments. If something's a little bit harder, then drop down to a gun that's going to suit your playstyle. So without further ado, let's dive right in and see what's going on. So, my first pick, my meta, I believe, will be the 7.62. This gun is going to be the creme de creme. If you can handle the recoil, you are going to be frying in Warzone. So, let's check it out. So I'm rocking the ZLR Talon 5 muzzle, tuning this to plus 1.13. and bullet velocity at +1. And then we're going with the Kastov 584mm barrel, recoil steadiness at plus 0.32 and damage range at plus 0.25. Then we are going to the F-Tag Ripper, recoil stabilization plus 0.62 and aiming idle stability plus 0.21, and 40 round mag, and the aim op V4. This I have it down as close at plus 1.8 and the ADS at minus 2.1. So without further ado, let's check out the firing range. As you can see, it aims down slightly slower than most guns. It does go on, but here and there, it's pretty much accuracy 47.3. It feels quite nice and it hits like a truck. Even if it bounces, for those longer ranges it bounces and kicks up, but you can easily bring it back under control. Definitely the most powerful gun. It's going to be frying players left, right and centre. For this I tend to use the same package. I call it the aggro, which is basically double time tracker, fast hands and high alert. You can take a high alert out and swap it for ghost, personal preference. Next up, in my secondary place, I have the TAC 56. I think this gun's going to be used a lot more. It's very easy to handle, very similar to the ISO itself, but this received only a slight head damage nerf, whereas there's a lot more damage nerfs to the ISO. So for this we use the Harbinger D20, recoil smoothers at plus 0.99 and bullet velocity at +1, Tundra 17.5-inch Pro Barrel, recoil steadiness at 0.34 plus and damage range at plus 0.31. The F-Tag Ripper once again, recoil at plus 0.8 and aiming idle stability at plus 0.4. 60 round mag, because it doesn't hit as hard as 7.62, so we need those mags. And the aim op tuned as such, plus 1.8 and a minus 2.13 for ADS. And in the firing range, you can see this ADS is a little bit quicker, and also it pretty much does not move. As you can see, this is like, I'm not hardly adjusting my trigger at all on my right side, and it is beaming at distance. So if you're finding 7.62 on those distances not as good, then grab the 56, because it is literally a laser beam, as one would say. Next up we have the Sakin. Sakin is great for quad games. It's got a fantastic 100 round mag as basic. So without further ado, the ZLR Talon 5, tune that to recoil smooth at 1.4 positive, bullet velocity at plus 0.68. The Broom Warrior LMG underbarrel, and that's plus 0.8 for stabilization and plus 0.4 aiming idle stability. As you can see, the accuracy and recoil on this is maxed out totally. And then we have the 20-inch Bruin Silver Series barrel, tune this to plus 0.35 recoil steadiness and aim ADS as minus 0.3. Pair that with the FSSOLEV laser, tuned to have minus 0.5 for sprint to fire and aiming idle stability at plus 51 feet. Then finally we have the aim op V4 at close at 1.63 and ADS at minus 3. And as you can see, this will hit incredibly hard. ADS a lot slower than the other guns and not as snappy, but is this moving? Pretty much doesn't want to move at all. It's so nice to use, and you've got 100 bullets, so in quads you're going to be frying. It's easy to take down a whole squad with that build. It is insane. Next we have the tried and tested ISO down in 4th place. As you can see, it's gold camo, which means that before in season 2 this is pretty much all I used. Same setup, Harbinger D20 tuned to 1.04 for recoil smoothness and +1 for bullet velocity. The F-Tac Ripper, recoil stabilization and +0.52 and aim walking speed at minus 0.22. Ooh. Then we have Fielder DT50 tuned to recoil surface at +0.18 and damage range at +0.26. 45 round mag and the aim op V4 minus 1.65 and minus 1.94 ADS. This is slightly changed the other way around. This is how it used to be. And as you can see, it still fries at every range. It's lost its damage, but it's still a proper laser beam set up the same way. Just literally doesn't have as much kick as it used to. What you can potentially do is change the FAR down to what we have before. It was at plus 1.8, so it makes it view a lot closer. So your reticle, as you can see as we're aiming in, the closer range looks easier. Such. Headshots off a little bit easier, so very nice gun still definitely S tier, but probably pips slightly if you're better at ADSing and holding that recoil control with the 7.62. And then finally we have the M4. I love this gun. It's really easy to use, really snappy, very quick. Don't have a muzzle for suppressor though, and we don't have an optic, we just go with iron sights. So the high tower 20-inch barrel is tuned to +0.21 for recoil steadiness and ADS at minus 0.26. The F-Tac Ripper for recoil stabilization minus 0.13 and aiming idle stability at +0.21. 45 round mag Sakin ZX grip, which gives us a +2.3 aiming idle stability and +0.65 recoil steadiness. And the FSSOLEV laser tuned to have minus 0.18 sprint to fire and ADS minus 26.32 feet. In the firing range, let's have a look. It's a lot more snappy than the other guns, so great for AshikaIsland. For those ranges from close to medium, not so great for long range, but if we're using AshikaIsland, very good. Traces those players very nicely, and even at distance it does have that wobble, but still not too bad. But a great quick and snappy gun for having fun, but definitely not S tier. It's coming up there, but it's not as good as the others. TAC 56, 7.62 Sakin, and the ISO are clearly better than this, and this is why it's down in 5th place. Funny enough. So now let's look at the SMGs. We only have the MP5 and the Vaz. So for my MP5, I rock the following: the lock grip precision 40, tuned to be minus 52, hip walking speed of minus 22 for ADS. 9mm 9mm frangible ammo, tuned to be plus 0.58 grams, and then for damage range plus 2.5. The laser we use the VLK, if I can get to it, LZR 7mm. Man, it's a mouthful, these things. But for this sprint to fire minus 2.04, and then aim at idle stability 8.23. The Lachman TCG10 rear grip at minus 0.16 for sprint to fire and minus 0.45 to ADS. And then in the firing range, we can see it's still very, very nice. It's very good for those medium to short distances. Accuracy, as we can see, is 75. Very nice indeed. drops down a little bit. Sometimes it does wiggle around, but you can control it quite nicely, especially when it's close up. And boom, let's now move on to the Vaznev. So Vaznev, I call it my Vaznev control meta, so it's super easy to use with a Lacerta compensator, tuned to plus 0.8 recoil stabilization and plus 0.34 for gun kick control. The FSS Sakin 90 underbarrel, plus 0.75 recoil stabilization and aiming idle stability at plus 0.4. 45 round mag, the FSS OLEV laser, aiming walking steadiness at plus 0.5 and aiming idle stability plus 51, and then the Otri Zat stock, tuned to be minus 2.4 aim walking speed and aim walking steadiness at plus 4. And in the firing range, as you can see, it's snappy and quick, and it pretty much does not move. As you notice, the accuracy on SMGs will always be lower than assault rifles. This gun is very nice. So this and the Lachman Sub are still top tier, and the only SMGs that you guys are rocking. So that basically is all of my guns. So without further ado, that's it. Enjoy. And see you guys in Warzone 2.0.